Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the Marvelous One, back at it again with Philosophical and Don. What's good, fellas?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Yeah. Well, we got a new topic for today. Top 5 NFL head coaches on the hot seat. Yo, I think this is a good topic, to discuss, because there's some coaches out there that made some bold moves, man, and they gotta show for it. You know what I mean? So I'll start it off. I'll start off with my top 5, right? So we're gonna start from 5, and I'll tell you, I told you, I struggle with the 5th one, right? But I'm gonna go with Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys, right? It was between him and Matt LaFleur. But Matt LaFleur had he had some really good seasons with Aaron Rodgers. I think they'll give him more than a year to kind of figure it out with a rookie quarterback. But Mike McCarthy, the reason I got him on my list, because Jerry Jones is impatient. He wants that Super Bowl. And I don't think he's going to hold out much longer, with just exiting the playoffs in the first round. So I got Mike McCarthy there because, hey, the last 2 seasons he's been 12-5, and they've exit either in the first round or the second round. And in the time before that, they were 6-10. So his first season, they were 6-10. So they've been on a bit of a run. But Jerry Jones is probably asking himself, is it my coach or is it my high-paid quarterback, Dak Prescott? I think he's going to say it's his coach, and he's probably going to pan his coach and go out there and find somebody else. Number 4 on my list, Ron Rivera of the Washington Commanders. Yes, Riverboat Ron. And, I was kind of annoyed with Riverboat Ron last season because he's been average with the Commanders or the Washington football team or whatever you want to call them. He's been average with them, right? He was 8-1 last season, 7-10 the season before, 7-9. To me, that's remarkable to do that with the young talent that he has and the fact that he has no quarterback. I think that's impressive. But he's made some mistakes. I thought Taylor Heineke should have been their quarterback last season. They probably would have been a playoff team if they'd have started him from the season and stopped with this experiment with Carson Wentz. I think we can all see Carson Wentz is broken, right? And why would you take a shot on a broken quarterback? He's broken. So I think he blew that. And there's a new owner coming into town with the Commanders. And I think Riverboat Ron's leash is short. So he's 4th on my list. Number 3, Todd Bowles. Right? There was some dysfunction. There was some dysfunction with the Bucs last season. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Byron Leftwich was once considered a head coach, right? He was being interviewed. I think he even turned down head coaching jobs, right? He turned down the Jaguars. And now he's on the streets. What happened in Tampa, right? And then the fact that Todd Bowles is going into this season and he really didn't have a good plan going into the season for quarterback. So I got questions about that. I mean, really and truly, last season, the Bucs went 8-9 his first season. That's not good. He was 4-12 in 2018 with the Jets, 5-11 with the Jets in 2017, 4-11 in 2016, 10-6 in 2015. That was his best season. Like, is Todd Bowles really a good coach? I mean, outstanding defensive coordinator, but you got to question whether or not he's a good coach. And so I always question defensive coordinators being head coaches. They're too conservative. They don't necessarily get along with the quarterback. And in today's NFL, which is more like a video game, you got to score a lot of points. You need a good relationship with your quarterback, and you need to have your guy. And Todd Bowles, I'm not sure if he has his guy, and I'm not sure if he has total control of this team. So I think he's on the hot seat. So I got him 3rd on my list. Number 2, Brandon Staley of the Los Angeles Chargers. If I'm ownership, I'm looking at Brandon like, dude, you have Justin Herbert. And the best you can do, like I'm looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, right? And I'm looking at, they got Joe Burrow, and I have Herbert on the same level as a Joe Burrow, talent-wise. I think he can do some of the same things, but I think coaching-wise, Herbert is lacking. And I think the owner's probably looking at that as well. I mean, hell, hey, what is smoke, that's fire, right? Wasn't there some discussions about Sean Payton going to Los Angeles to take over the Chargers, right? There's a lot of discussion about that. We were all thinking that, hey, if Brandon Staley didn't get to the playoffs, he was in trouble. He was in jeopardy. Well, I think that's going into this season, especially how things played out in the playoffs last season against the Jaguars. That was not good. So I think ownership is probably questioning whether or not, hey, are we wasting Justin Herbert's time with Brandon Staley? I mean, hell, what? Chargers were 10-7, which is good, in 9-8 the previous season, but a lot of that probably, because of Justin Herbert. So how long does ownership stick around with this guy? And number one on my list, and, I'm going to say it, because, I'm frustrated with my team, Dennis Allen. Number one. I mean, some bad coaching decisions. I am so frustrated with this dude. So I got him number one on my list. I think he's on the hot seat. Maybe the owner of the Saints, which I don't think she's going to express herself too much with her displeasure with him. I think Mickey Loomis, who is the GM of the Saints and the owner's right-hand man, I think he's getting, impatient with Dennis Allen. You bring in your guy, Derek Carr. You bring in Derek Carr's tight end from the Raiders. You bring in a receiver from the Raiders. We have become the New Orleans Raiders. And you know what? This falls on Dennis Allen. And then the fact that, he's too conservative. There were some games we should have won last season that he was way too conservative on it. And then you got to start asking yourself, is this guy he's just not a head coach? Because he hasn't had a winning season ever as a head coach. He was 7-10 with the Saints last season, right? Just as I predicted, Phil, 7-10. I'm gonna throw that back out there at you.
7-10.
Phil was picking 10 wins, 7-10.
I said 10 wins this year too. I'm saying it again this year, but
yeah. Hey, I see some improvement. 8-9
at the quarterback position. Finally.
Oh yeah. Derek Carr, I mean, relatively speaking, Derek Carr is better than Jameis Winston. That's easy. Better than Andy Dalton.
The only way I see him saving his job is if he's got an amazing offensive coordinator, and they just,
I think Derek Carr's going to win some games, and I think you're going
to. Yeah, I said that too. 10 games.
You're going to find yourself in the same predicament that Phil found himself in.
I think we're going to win about 8 or 9 games.
Wow.
Right?
You spend all that money and win 8 games?
And win 8 games, yes.
That division stinks.
I know. That's what's bad about it.
Oh, man.
But look at it like this. You think that division stinks. And I think I mentioned this to you before. I'm a little concerned about the Falcons because we don't know much about them.
Don't skid on my list now, okay?
I'm just saying. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about this. And I'll tell you this. The Saints-Falcons rivalry is on the same level as the Cowboys and Giants or Eagles or some of these big rivalries, the Ravens, Steelers rivalry. Saints-Falcons hate each other, and we tend to split every year. Although we didn't split last year, we tend to split every year. And then I think the Falcons got a lot of good young talent that came in. So, yeah, I'm concerned. About that.
And Carolina?
I think Carolina's gotten better, too. So,
and the Saints have been just kind of even.
We got swept by the Panthers last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising, right? They had 2 different head coaches, and we got swept by them.
But I mean, in conference, that's potentially 3 wins, and you guys are gonna have to probably squeak out 7 wins from somewhere. But that'll come later.
That'll work itself out.
But predictions wise,
But I look at it from this standpoint. I've seen 9 seasons of Derek Carr. I think he is what he is,
back on this.
And I think he. Well, he's not ascending. He's at a point in his career where he's going down. He's descending. So I don't see this being that good of a season, and I think this was a mistake by Dennis Allen, and he will be punished for it. If they, like you said, you guys are right. The Saints, considering this division, they should be the best team in this division. They should easily win 10 games.
So you're telling me the Saints are better than last season?
Yes, they are better than last season. I said they are.
I think that they can squeak out to 1 or 2 wins. They had a couple close losses last year.
They did.
With the better quarterback play, they can squeak out 1 or 2 wins.
But I think our defense has gotten weaker. We lost a lot of defensive linemen. So our
Y'all
run
had
defense
some
is
depth, though. You had some depth at
No.
the defense.
no, not
The defensive line is kind of always,
not at the defensive line. That was our strength. And I think one of the biggest things that we lost that a lot of people don't know is that we lost Nielsen, who was the defensive line coach, and he was also they had him as the co-defensive coordinator, which was dumb as well. But this guy is on a head coaching level. He's that good. And he was our defensive line coach because our run defense was bad.
Where'd he go?
He went to Atlanta, and he took some of the defensive linemen with him. So that's why I'm telling you, I think the Falcons look better because this guy is that good. He's now their new defensive coordinator. Ryan Nielsen, very, very good. So good that the LSU Tigers were trying to get him as their defensive coordinator, and the Saints had to up his salary to keep him in New Orleans because they love him so much because our run defense has been one of the best in the league for many years, as long as he's been there. And the fact that we lost him, we're going to take a hit there. So that's my top 5, man. I think Dennis Allen is number 1 on this list. And I think if he starts out like he did with the Raiders in 2014, where he went 0-4, he could get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I completely agree with your list. I don't have any disagreements with your list. I will be very quick with my list because it's obvious and little surprises here and there. Number 5, Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel. I tell you what, this is how I feel about it, right? They had a division last year, and they let Jacksonville just slip it away, and they were on a serious losing streak. I don't like the situation they did with Malik Willis. I think he went out and drafted a quarterback to kind of try to save his job, and Tannehill is on his way out. So if they don't win this division and they try to throw a rookie out there and they're around, they win 5, 6 games, even 4 games, and they're not good. There have been rumors of trading Derrick Henry. They got problems in the wide receiver position. So I know he's got a lot of power in the organization, but that division is the worst division in football. He's supposed to win it. And he's been there long enough. He's been there a long time. So Mike Vrabel is number 5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah, he's number 5.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Number 4, you made some good comments about this team, Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith. They made some moves. They made some moves in the offseason. They made some moves in the draft. But what I'm seeing on the field hasn't really correlated as better football. They looked terrible last year. They kind of
I was just going to add, I mean, yes, they did look terrible. And I can't believe I'm defending the Falcons. This sounds horrible. It feels like Don defending the Steelers. They still went 7-10. That's what's so remarkable about it.
3rd in their division. They still look bad in a weak division. They went out and drafted a running back, which I liked. We're going to see what Ritter is. Ritter is his guy. That's his guy. You know what I mean? He pushed Matt Ryan out. And Ritter is his guy. If Ritter didn't come out and improve, and that defense is terrible. It's terrible. It's bad. So and they went out and got some skill positions on the wide receiver position. So they got to show some improvement. I think they got to kind of win 8-9 games this year for him to even get anywhere close to saving his job. If they come out like 4 or 5 wins, I think he's out of there. He's axed. So Atlanta Falcons, number 4. Number 3, Commanders. The way I feel about this is, the whole Carson Wentz situation, Heineke situation. They haven't developed a quarterback. I've said on this show many times they should have threw Sam Howell in there way earlier. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
going anywhere. The
Mm-hmm.
Chase Young situation, I think they spent too much money on the front line. His bread and butter is defense. His secondary stinks. They've had terrible drafts. They're not great developing. They got a new order. So I really feel like
And they play in a tough division.
Yeah. Tougher than yeah. And they do play in a tough division. And they just look mediocre. They don't look well coached. They don't look well prepared. They get, like I said, they're gonna get a new owner in there, and I feel like he's gonna want to clean house, bring his guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, they brought in what's the Chiefs offensive coordinator?
Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy. You don't bring a high
Eric
profile
Bieniemy,
guy in
man.
there. You don't bring a high profile guy in there for nothing. So I think the writing's on the wall for him. So Washington Commanders are number 3 for me. Shoot. Number 2, Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm.
You know, what can I say about the Raiders, right? Josh McDaniels, his whole pedigree was playing well with Tom Brady. You know, we know we did in Denver. He comes over to Las Vegas to be this great innovator of the offense. You know, he's proven his as a head coach again. He's kind of learned from his mistakes. And the first thing, they're last in defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr is unhappy. They've been playing around with Josh Jacobs, whether they want to sign him back or not. They haven't really, fixed the wide receiver position. You know what I mean? Offensive line is still kind of a mess. Defense is a mess. And Derek Carr's comments coming out and just the way they kind of treated him. And now, Garoppolo was hurt.
Mm.
And that division is tough. So I tell you
Yeah.
right now, they're probably going to be 4th in that division.
Yeah.
They're probably going to win probably 3 games. And Las Vegas, they got a new stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just got to Las Vegas. And they have an impulsive owner.
Yeah.
So they want to win. Right.
They are a dumpster fire.
They are a dumpster fire. And that's being generous. Unless they do, and they passed on a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not smart.
Not smart. They put all their eggs in Garoppolo, and that was a bad move. And number 1, of course, is the Chargers. You don't bring it. This is the same situation as the Commanders. You don't bring in a high-profile offensive coordinator for no reason. Justin Herbert is wasting his time. They tried to make some moves to fix the wide receiver position. They haven't really solidified the running back position. Their defense has been. I know defense has been riddled by injuries. He doesn't make great adjustments.
Right.
He looks a little bit over his skis. And, to be honest, when Anthony Lynn was coaching, they look a lot better.
They sure did.
And then again, he probably should have been fired after that playoff game against Jacksonville.
You're right.
Again, Chargers, if he comes out there and he's 0-4, 1-3, 2-5, he may get axed early too. So, Yep. So, Chargers are my number 1.
You know what? I like your list. I like the Josh McDaniel thing. The only reason I did not put him on my list because this is his second season, and but like you said, I mean, you're talking about an erratic owner, in Las Vegas. So you never know.
And he pushed Derek Carr out.
Yeah,
he pushed Derek Carr out. He went out and vouched for Garoppolo. Garoppolo gets hurt. Now they have nothing.
And not only
he was always hurt.
But that stadium is a world class stadium, and you gotta have what's their identity? What's their big ticket item they're gonna do to put hot butts in seats? So I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was up to him to kind of be this quarterback guru.
That's supposed to be his thing, and we hadn't really seen it since Tom Brady left him. So is he really a quarterback guru, or just a beneficiary of Tom Brady?
He might get. A pass to say, hey, we're going to take and get, Caleb Williams in here, but do you want him coaching Caleb Williams?
But it's like, everywhere he's been a head coach, it seems to be a lot of dysfunction. So you got to start asking you, there was
I wrote
dysfunction
that down.
in Denver.
Locker room stability.
Yeah. He seems that I don't know if it's him and his way of communicating with his players. The way he treated Derek Carr. A veteran like that, you just let him finish the season. You just keep losing.
Not
Him
only
and
that,
Belichick went at it.
Yeah, but I don't think he normally when you have a coach like that that's an in your face type of guy, you probably want to come in there with some credentials, and he really hasn't won anything. And just like you said, he riding the coattail of another QB.
Yeah.
He really hasn't done nothing for no one else.
But see, I disagree on one point that you made. You say he's never won anything. I think he goes in there with his 4 Super Bowl rings when he was with the Patriots. I'm thinking it's 4 or 5, however many Super Bowl rings he won as the offensive coordinator with the Patriots.
I don't count that.
I hear you.
But we don't know. We don't know if that was Belichick or him.
But hear me out. Yeah, he probably going in there
scandals
with his rings on. Pretty arrogant about it. Look, Derek Carr, man, you know how many Super Bowls I got? Man, get off my team. I can win with Jared Stinner, or whatever the guy's name they had the backup quarterback. So, I think this might be ego. This might be some.
And Tom Brady's never really defended him either. So that tells gives another reason.
Yeah.
Tom Brady never came out and vouched for Josh McDaniels,
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear Don's list.
Oh man, let me go ahead and take a nice little swig of this libation before I give you this list, because
okay, John Harbaugh better be on that list.
Hey man, just because I mean your team
both Harbaughs.
Your team deserved to be on that list, but I digress. Moving forward,
I don't disagree with
you. Number 5, you're looking at Sean McDermott.
Oh,
right now,
wow, they gave him an extension. You know that, right?
Yeah, and listen, and they might fire him right afterwards because, what have you done for me lately? I mean, you can get me to the fence, you can get me in the playoffs, but when you get me there, you ain't winning. And that's the one thing that a lot of owners say when I'm paying big money in order to build this roster, and you can't get me to the finish line. Maybe you're not that guy. Because I mean, the Bills have always been that teeter. We looking back in the day, Jim Kelly and them, they was always teetering on that borderline. Just couldn't get through the finish line. So I think he made this year, it got the extension, but I've seen people, get hired and fired in the same sentence. Football is a strange world, whereas though is all that, what have you done for me lately? And yeah, I got it. He's winning, but you gotta finish. You gotta finish in the playoffs.
Stephon Diggs is not happy. I think
locker. So right now, if he does not put some stability in that locker room, and that wide receiver try to force his way out, you may find yourself in a bad predicament where though your quarterback ain't got nobody to throw to.
Josh Allen's regressing. Well, it could be. I will give him a little pass because it could be the head coach for the Giants, Dable. He lost his offensive coordinator. But
but now as a head coach, you gotta go out there and get some stability.
Wait, y'all killing me about Sean McDermott on this list on the hot seat. Are y'all serious?
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, and it could have been a. Like,
I think this man's job is secured. I don't even see this at all.
They looked bad last year. They looked bad. No running game. Offensive line is still in shambles. Josh Allen is still running for his life, trying to truck people over.
Wow.
Then you got Stephon Diggs.
Well, I mean, their biggest weakness, they didn't have a run game, and that's
offensive line is not good.
Well, I don't think it was that good.
Coach, you got to fix that.
Yeah, you got to fix that. And I think
he's been there 5 years.
Well, exactly.
Okay. All right. Good.
So that division is tough.
Yeah.
Finish your list, man. I'll get the clown music ready for you.
Number 4, I hate talking about these guys because Dallas is always, when you have an owner like Jerry Jones, you're always going to earn some type of spotlight on this list. And now you got the QB running back, because I don't know if that running back, he got hurt in the playoffs.
Right. Is he going to be ready for the season? Yeah.
And why didn't they go after the running back that's the hottest running back that's available out in the market right now?
Dalvin Cook?
Hey, because most offenses have a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
And Pollard is not a home run hitter. So, I mean, you got to run more and throw less, because Dak is killing them with that arm. He's like a pitcher that gives up 12 home runs. I got it. He's gonna win some games, but he's gonna lose a lot of them. So I'm looking at that, and
Well,
the defense looks
and
kind of
And
solid this year.
and McCarthy is calling plays.
that's what I was getting ready to say. I
He
wanted
has
to add
to.
that.
Oh man,
He's calling
so,
what? He's taking a
boy.
little bit more responsibility. That's why I had
Yeah.
him on my list too. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Didn't they sign Jason Garrett too as offensive
But
coordinator?
but
No.
but here's the thing. This is sink or swim because Jerry's not getting any younger. I mean, Jerry said, "I want to win during my lifetime.
Yep, I
I
agree.
don't want why I don't want to watch it from up in the sky."
Mm.
And you know, and Jerry has always been that adamant.
Mm.
So looking at that list, that's gonna be, that's gonna be top tier for me. I put Riverboat in there because Riverboat, he got new ownership. And now you got to ask yourself, Cowboys got to do something. You got Philly not going nowhere, Giants. I mean, that's tough. You just bought a team just to hold up the basement. I mean, this is going to be tough as a coach and a new offensive coordinator who's trying to make names for themselves. This is a must-win season for them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that roster is built to do that. And I think that if he doesn't win, he may shake things up and say, you know what, we tried your direction, and we're gonna go in my direction. He probably just empty the whole thing and just to turn it around. So this might be a chance for. And here's the crazy part: if he gets in that locker room and he sees that the offensive coordinator is doing such a good job, to say maybe I don't need you.
But I mean, I
so
if this
there's
all
different ways to look at that roster.
If this all goes wrong, I'm starting to think that this was a mistake by Eric Bieniemy.
Yes, but if he had to do something. You just couldn't sit back and do nothing. He had to do something because he was not going to get a head coaching job.
Yeah, it was too late.
So
when
he
they
had to go
started,
somewhere, and we say he got to take his talent somewhere else and be able to show that, hey, maybe I can spark an offense somewhere. Maybe he has to go and be an offensive coordinator somewhere else right after they get this dumpster fire over with, because I do not see the Redskins catching up with that. I mean, that's a tough division.
It is a tough division. I don't see it either.
Not that tough. Their roster is not that great. That
division not to go week to week like this.
What do you mean? That division is tough, man.
That division is tough.
That division is not that tough. The Commanders just don't have a good roster. There's a difference. There's a difference. They don't have a great roster. Their roster is.
They got a great roster. They just don't have a good quarterback.
That roster's not going to do nothing. That roster's not going to do nothing to help them. And having a quarterback issue is going to hurt you even more. You can't move the ball. The defense not that good.
Every team, the Eagles are the class of the division. Cowboys have got quarterback problems. They got impulsive owner. They got
Giants.
Giants.
They got to sign a running back.
Giants have got quarterback problems. I don't think Daniel Jones is that good. They got running back problems. They don't have good weapons on the outside to help them.
The Cowboys won 12 games. The Giants won 10.
Yes.
And the Eagles won what?
14.
And you're telling me this is a weak division?
I'm just going to say
they're
going to hold up the basement for another year.
What I'm saying, the Eagles are above and beyond the class of this division. Roster-wise. Right?
Okay.
Commanders are the worst roster in this division.
Yes.
Possibly the bottom roster of the NFL.
All the more reason why new ownership wants to shake it up.
I disagree with that.
You don't know who their quarterback's going to be, how he's going to play. It's going to be a first-year quarterback.
Right.
Chase Young, he's fighting for a contract. The secondary is bad. They got linebacker problems. I like their wide receivers. They don't have a good tight end to save the quarterback.
That defense is going to be on the field all game, burnt out.
Yeah, and that's Ron Rivera's playbook. Win with defense.
You can't when you ain't giving them no breathe on offense.
Yeah.
That team went 8-1. Continue, Don.
Yeah.
Who went 8? Oh well, I mean
the Commanders. They went 8-1.
Sad.
Okay. That's
in a tough division. In a division where one team won 14 games.
And the other one won 12.
Okay.
And the other one won 12. And the third team won 10.
And that's impressive. Everybody went 7-9. So what does that say?
That's impressive, man. Okay. Go ahead, Don.
So this guy right here, and believe it or not, he had to earn this because I see The Ravens, we beefing up. Cincinnati got to do something.
Uh-oh.
The Browns are looking to make some traction. Them Steelers, Mike might be in trouble this year.
Oh boy, here we
Mike might be
go.
in trouble this year, baby.
Oh boy,
Mike Thompson, Mike Thompson might be in
I
trouble.
actually could get on board with this.
I cannot.
Mike Thompson might be
actually-
in trouble with this
He is
You
not
can't
in
miss a
trouble.
second year not
Steeler
making the
Nation.
playoffs, Marv.
Hey,
No,
Steeler Nation and them
You
owners,
can't-
we do not hold up the basement.
You cannot go another year not making the playoffs, Marv. You can't.
dude. If you know
Steeler
any,
Nation,
you know
not the
anything about the Steelers hang on to their coaches.
hey,
The
not
Steelers-
losing coaches. No,
in their
not like
history,
this.
what they've had 3 coaches in the history of the franchise.
Marv. And look, the Steelers have always been 1-2. They are not going to be 1-2. They might be holding up the basement.
I actually think the Steelers might be number 2 in that division.
No.
I actually think the Steelers.
Hey,
I actually think the
if
Steelers
they
might be
beat
number 2
if
in
they
that
beat
division.
Cincinnati out, so be it.
The Steelers are better than the Ravens.
Mm.
Steelers are better than the Ravens. They had an amazing draft.
Hey,
Ooh,
don't say
ooh.
it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Ooh.
You don't know what Lamar Jackson.
Did you see the look on Don's face when you said that?
Don't say it with your chest. Look, say it with your checkbook.
You don't know what Lamar Jackson you're gonna get this year.
Hey, I'm here my Michael Jordan. Say it with your
when you
checkbook.
said that.
Okay.
Say it with your checkbook.
But
You
go
know what I'm
ahead.
saying?
Go ahead. You've been trying to get Tomlin fired for 2 years now. Go ahead.
Hey,
I'll just say
guess
this.
what? He's in the hot seat.
I'll just say this. Steelers were 9-8 last season.
Got
That
it.
is impressive with 2 different quarterbacks.
A
And
rookie
into the season
quarterback.
with a rookie quarterback.
So with Lamar being
Yeah,
loaded
Trubisky at the
and
first.
Cincinnati being loaded, how do you think they're going to prevail
Lamar
this
is
year?
not
I'll
loaded.
pause.
Lamar's not loaded.
I need to see Lamar play a full season.
Yeah. Lamar is not loaded.
Hey, listen here, man. Just talking about the same guy that's wearing that hat in front of me. What's wrong with you?
OBJ.
You talking about the superstar playing the whole system.
OBJ played a season and a half, and Zay Flowers is a rookie wide receiver.
Hey. We talking to the same guy that didn't think Lamar was going to re-sign with the Ravens.
Hey, that love affair was rough, man. It
man.
wasn't good in my house.
I told you
I ain't
before.
gonna lie to you. I'll be lying to you if I told you
I
that
can get
everything
on
was gonna
board
be-
with Tomlin. If they don't make the playoffs this year, Bob, I can see
They're in
them-
trouble.
They
I don't see it. don't see it.
a small chance. A small now.
Hey,
I
put
mean,
it like this: if they don't make the playoffs and they holding up the basement and let Cleveland do
Yeah, that's
more
true.
damage than them, it's gonna be hell to pay. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: Cincinnati and Baltimore, top tier.
I hear
got
you.
them being, no, I mean like over everyone. It's going to be significantly different.
I could actually put the Browns coach if they don't do something this year. He may get canned too.
Oh yeah, considering that contract that Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
can
that-
see.
that might put a lot
more
of
of a
pressure on him.
GM. That's more of
Yeah.
a GM issue than a head coach.
No, that's
Yeah.
the owner.
But the GM
That's
ain't
the
gonna
owner.
fire himself.
Yeah,
That's why I said that GM gonna get fired by the guy that gonna own it.
Yeah, I can see. I can see because he's only had one good season, so I can
Yeah.
see maybe the Browns coach maybe getting canned next.
So look,
Nah.
I'm curious, who is number one? I mean, because you
Yeah.
threw out some
Hey,
real.
Hey,
And you know we got
Three was-
Steelers. You know we got Steelers fans, so you know they coming in the
I mean,
comments.
hey, let me tell you
done
something.
threw out
This
some weird
guy
ones here.
right here, his record his record, even though he has the most wins out of everyone, is still tarnished because of the Spygate and everything associated, the
John
Flake
Harbaugh.
game and everything. I'm going with Belichick because
Belichick.
right now he hasn't done nothing since Tom's been gone.
So you got
Even ride
Belichick.
Tom's coat, huh?
They're not firing Belichick.
They're not firing Belichick.
They
Hey,
man.
retired
listen,
before they
Stop
fire
it.
him.
Listen, they're not going to fire Belichick. Guess what? They're going to have mutual disagreement and they're going to part ways.
They've already had that.
No,
They've
they,
already
no,
had
no,
mutual disagreements.
no. I'm telling you that the head owner of the organization, he's not going to let Belichick keep losing like that. It's just not going to happen.
He
I
wins
don't know.
six
I don't know
Super Bowls. You
I
don't
know
fire your
what
coach.
do y'all think?
And-
But when you are used to winning like this, if you think Rob Kraft, listen to the name Kraft.
Mhm.
If you think Rob Kraft is going to take losing like that,
You know how
no.
hard it is to replace Tom
Hey,
Brady?
But they even went to the playoffs
Once-
without Tom Brady. Didn't they go to the playoffs with Mac Brown?
Man, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Do you all right, what damage do you think they're going to do with Jones this year, huh?
Mac Jones, I mean.
Mac
Yeah,
Jones.
Mac Jones. Yeah. What damage do you think they're going to do?
They probably gonna be fourth in the division.
Because listen. This is what you need to understand. Bills ain't going nowhere. They holding tight and strong.
They're better than the Patriots.
Hold on. Hold on. The Dolphins holding tight and strong. The Jets trying to make a name for themselves. So you got New England holding up the basement? I'll pause.
I think so. I think
I'll
they're holding the
pause.
basement. I think the Patriots will be fourth in that division.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't
And
see
they
them
ain't gonna
firing
make the
Belichick.
playoffs.
I don't see them firing Belichick.
What?
Yeah,
Holding
I
up
don't
the
see them
basement?
firing. I don't see
Dude,
them
they gonna
firing.
hold
Holding
up
up-
that basement.
But it's Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick.
He deserves more time.
No, he doesn't. He got time. He got time. he went and got Matt Jones. And guess what? It's been trash. And I'm gonna tell you like this: if they do not get Hopkins, and the only reason they want Hopkins, the only reason is a snake deal because they don't want the Bills to get him. Because if the Bills get him, they're gonna be a problem. And the Bills need another receiver to help out, that lonely soldier up there. And if they get that, they're gonna be a problem to deal with as well.
So you got two coaches in the same division getting fired, potentially.
Yeah.
Well, who's that?
McDermott and Belichick.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Man, your list is wild, yo.
McDermott, I only seen possible. You didn't even name the Chargers. You didn't name the Saints.
Nobody on the spectrum to do anything.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to fire their coach. I actually thought about it because I think Prescott is tied to McCarthy.
Nope.
But they can't get rid of Prescott.
Jerry Jones will fire his own daughter if she's out there coaching like that. Jerry Jones want to win, baby.
But I think Mike McCarthy has no excuses. Like he could blame.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he could blame the offensive coordinator last season. Now he's taking over those duties.
But they went to the second round of the playoffs last year. It ain't like they had a terrible year.
But like Don said, Jerry Jones trying to get to that Super Bowl. He can't. He's getting impatient.
So if Jerry Jones trying to get Super Bowl, what's the difference with the Kraft, who's been tasting champagne for the past?
Yeah, but they haven't done anything in free agency on a draft to make that team better.
But guess
what? Belichick has been playing with that guy, telling him that it's my system and this is how it works. When really,
that's true. It is a system.
But that's what I'm saying.
Not. I'm gonna tell you what. What's his record without Tom Brady?
16-15. I just guessed that. It's somewhere in that range. It's like 500 because they were 8-9 last season, and I think they were 10-6 the season before with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No.
With less talent.
Terrible.
With less talent.
That's impressive. That's not impressive?
Now, hey.
In a tough division?
Listen, not for Patriots. We keep saying that's impressive, but we're saying that's New Orleans impressive. We're not talking about a winning organization with a winning GM,
but
and
a winning organization that's rebuilding. Yeah, the Patriots.
They don't rebuild. See,
the Patriots were
don't rebuild. He reloads. Listen,
they were 10-7 the year before.
I got it. What you're saying. You're looking at it from an average. You're looking from an average team that's used to trying to make the playoffs and everything. You're not talking about a team that's been winning.
But they're average.
Hey, the Patriots are equivalent.
They're average.
To like
they're
the
average,
man.
they're rebuilding. They don't have Tom Brady.
The Patriots don't rebuild. They reload.
They're not even doing that.
What you mean they don't rebuild? They reload. They gotta rebuild. They can't reload. Tom Brady's gone.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to
replace. He sold everybody on that. I don't need Tom Brady. I'm good without him.
Just like Tomlin, he had to replace Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
Tomlin had to replace Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
and guess what? That's going to get him fired. He should have had that man in the wheelchair.
Come on.
Oh my God, Dodd, you're killing me with this list.
Hey, when you draft poorly, this is
who's drafted poorly? The Steelers had an amazing draft.
It had a nice season. It went 9-8 with a rookie quarterback.
And Tomlin's never missed the playoffs.
9-8. Come on, man. That's not enough.
Tomlin's never missed the play. Wait a minute. Tomlin's never missed the playoffs.
So you have him. So you saying he gonna make the playoffs this year? I have him holding up the basement.
I think this list is more about feelings than facts.
No, hey, I'm gonna tell you what, y'all into y'all feelings. I see the football field a little bit differently than y'all. I see it the right way.
You see it the right way?
Of course.
He got Bill Belichick, Sean McDermott, Mike
Oh, okay.
Tomlin.
Phil
You
about to
you
talk.
talking
Phil about to talk
about
numbers.
you talking about how the Steelers. Wait a minute, I had to look this up. You talking
Yeah,
about how the
yeah,
Steelers
yeah.
went
I'm
9-8.
ready.
Y'all only won 10 games last year. Y'all went 10-7 last year.
They
Without
were one
Lamar.
game behind you.
Without
One game
Lamar.
behind y'all.
Without Lamar.
You won 9 of those
And
games
we was
with
on our way.
Lamar.
And we was on our way to the Super Bowl without
You won
Lamar.
6 of those games with Lamar.
We was on our way
It
to the
was
Super
more
Bowl
like
without
8 of
Lamar.
those games.
Oh,
with
okay, yeah, you
Lamar.
won 8 of those games. So really, you only won 2 more games without Lamar.
And listen, and that shows you right there, our backup quarterback is better than your starting quarterback. Next slide.
Oh,
So
you serious?
Pittsburgh,
Next
Whoa,
slide.
whoa. No, hold up, Phil. We're not gonna let him get off with that.
Yeah,
You're
yes,
not
you
gonna say
did.
your backup quarterback is better.
Yes, better than
No,
your starting quarterback. I said it and I meant
you're
it.
out of your
I said
mind.
it and I meant it. I doubled down on
wait a minute, you were upset about the backup quarterback last year.
No.
You were talking about
I
he
was upset
trash,
that you were trying to
I'm
make.
not gonna let
I
you
was
get away with
upset.
that
move the
foolishness.
ball.
I was upset that you tried to make my backup quarterback a starting quarterback. He can hold together a 2 or 3 week time, yes, but can he march him to victory in the towards the Super Bowl? Hey, listen, when it's crunch time and the game on the line, he is not the one to make rational decisions. We
So
saw that. We
telling
saw
me
that. We had this. We had Cincinnati beat in
with a backup
Cincinnati.
quarterback. With a backup quarterback.
So that tells you when Lamar was there, we'd have ran a house down on him. But don't worry about it. Don't love me now, love me later.
Huh.
But Phil,
Hey,
Phil, I give you the first 2 weeks to get on the Ravens bandwagon.
Do you
then
understand?
All bets are off.
The Ravens have got a brand new offensive coordinator. You know that,
They
right?
ain't got a brand new quarterback.
They
don't have a brand new quarterback.
They got a brand new wide receiver who's just coming off a major injury.
They don't have a brand new quarterback. And
yes,
that's Lamar.
He didn't play last year. He didn't play.
That means
it's
he's
a brand
healthy.
new year.
That means he's healthy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to wrap this thing up on that note, man.
Wrap it up.
Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. We'll get the clown music ready for you next week.